Today we will be talking about getting the ground ready for a vegetable crop, and here we have a crop that is dying, basically it's already harvested. This is a broccoli crop. It's already done and it is ready to be mowed, disked, and then the ground kind of prepared for the following crop. So today we'll be showing you some of these practices that a new organic farmer will need to be doing, and will be simple, and we'll be showing you also how to do things in simple ways and with equipment that is not too sophisticated. Okay, so here what we just did here is that we used a flail mower to mow a strip of Sudan grass. So this is Sudan grass that was separating a crop that we have here, broccoli, from a research experiment that just ended like a month ago or so. And then so we mowed the Sudan grass, in this case we tried to get get it down to 3 or 4 inches. And then the same thing happened to the broccoli crop over there. And we can see this is an important step maybe when you have a crop that has lots of biomass in the ground and it's still standing. So mowing the crop will help with the future steps. Like the next step that is going to be coming here is going to be disking the ground. So when we have the crop residue chopped up a little bit, so it's just easier to mix the residue within the soil when we disc. So this is what we get after that first pass of the disc. And as you can see here, the soil is still, we still have lots of residue. This is from the Sudan grass strip crop that we had here, and we still have the soil itself is blocky and is a little it's not really ready for planting or for even for listing, or preparing the beds. So here we still have big clods of soil, which is gonna need maybe here we'll need to dry down a little bit so that it's ready for another pass with the disc. And the other pass with the disc, we'd usually do it at an angle maybe 45 degrees or so that whatever we didn't get into the first pass, then we'll be able to get on top of that for the second pass, and then we'll have maybe a better soil structure and smaller soil aggregates or soil clods, and that we can deal with for the future operations. So after this operation, so this is one pass of a disc. We'll have another pass with the disc, and after that we'll have another operation that we call listing. The other thing that we can notice with the disc here is that the amount of residue that is left on top of the soil is going to depend on the type of disc that we use, also the number of sets of discs that we have, but also the number of passes with the disc. So here with the Sudan grass, because we had lots of residue, we have lots of biomass sitting on the ground, so we still have some residue left here, versus with the broccoli we have much less residue that is standing on the ground. And usually you want to have as little residue as possible staying on top of the ground, so that it does not interfere with your planting operations. So this is how the field should look like after we're done with the disking and after a couple of passes with the disc. So you see that we have much finer soil particles here, and it's ready for the following step. And the other thing is that it's very level at this point. And again, we're talking about simple measures, so we're not using laser leveling or anything here. It's just we're just using the disc, and 2 passes maybe with an angle should get you this. These beds were listed, meaning that the beds were raised, the soil was aligned using a ridge plow or a lister, what we call a lister, and then the bed is ready to be shaped, to take its final shape. And the final shape with the bed is something that looks like this. So this is a bed that is ready to be planted, and the moisture content is really an important thing to take into consideration when we're working with this, so that we're not really compacting the soil first, but also so that we're not ending up with big soil clots. So the moisture here is just like a perfect middle, not being too wet, not being too dry. So basically you need to look like to hold it in your hand, and if you get any moisture out of it, then it's too wet. And if you don't get any soil particles basically kind of remaining on your hands, then it's too dry. In a heavy clay soil that we have, like in this area, it's really important to make sure that the moisture content is right for the operation that we're doing, so that we're not really compacting the soil and ending up in more damage to the soil structure that needs to be done.